All right, I just gotta say real quick, this Bauer leaf blower, I guess you could call it, whatever it is awesome. This is one of the coolest tools I've bought in a long time, and I cannot believe how well it works. And that 5 amp hour battery is just sweet. It's already clean in here because I've been blowing my garage out all day, but this thing works so good. The absolute coolest thing about this, and I already had thought of this before I even bought it, is that it would be great for stoking fires. Because it blows enough air to give oxygen, but it doesn't blow such a large amount of air that it blows everything all over. It's perfect. It's like a little jet stream of good air coming out the end of this, and you can adjust the speeds on it. Not to mention it has a variable throttle on it, meaning like right now it's in high. If you barely press it, it barely does anything, and the harder you press it, or if you don't want to do that, you can just change it down to 1, and that's all the harder it blows. So you can barely press that and just stoke a fire. It's awesome. This thing is just so cool. I can't believe how good tools have gotten in the last 10 years. I really don't buy new tools that often, but pretty cool. So continuing on with the Bauer tools, I went out and got this new reciprocating saw, 20 volt, Harbor Freight, and then I also got some more pruning blades. I really like using reciprocating saws for cutting roots. Like if you're ripping out a little tree stump or anything like that, you can cut roots. Obviously you can do pruning with them. This is my old one. I've had this Black & Decker for a long time. It was actually a set of 4 tools and 2 batteries and a charger for like 80 bucks on a Black Friday sale. And most of those tools are junk now, but this reciprocating saw is still working. And ironically, I've used this more than anything else, and it's the one that's not broken yet. This here is also a 20 volt, but it's only a 1.5 amp hour battery. They go dead really fast, and it goes dead faster now because of its age, but it does work well. So I figured I should probably just get a new Bauer reciprocating saw. I went out and I've been buying these 5 amp hour 20 volt Bauer batteries, and I like everything to be interchangeable anyway, so moving on to this thing. Every time I do a job and I get some money from somebody, I immediately take it and I go buy tools with it. And then over time, instead of just, you know, spending your cash on bills or whatever, you turn it into more tools. Meaning you have more stuff to do jobs with. Oh yeah, I can already tell I like this thing. That's nice. That's really nice. This thing was $64.99. They actually had two options. They had one that was $29.99 and another one that was $64.99, and I got this one. Pretty much the same design, just better. And this is way bigger. You can tell just by looking at it. This Black & Decker is pretty small, and this thing surprisingly cuts really, really well. I know the pruning blades make a big difference when they're sharp, but I can't imagine how well this one does. And it's got like a, I don't know, kind of a semi-rubber grip on this, even on the handle. Just a lot of grip. This has got some really cheap, whatever type of plastic that is. Got a lock here. It's got a good fence right there. Actually, this one has a light on it. That's cool. Not really sure what that's for. Oh, that just releases the fence. There's a button right there. Now, the only reason I've been buying Bauer instead of Hercules or whatever that other brand is at Harbor Freight is they had a good deal on 5 amp hour batteries. And every time that deal comes up, I buy them. And these are awesome batteries. So I just went with Bauer. So, and their tools are a little bit cheaper, and honestly, I've used both and I don't notice much of a quality difference in between the two, but sweet. And these batteries last forever. The higher the amp hour, the better. So these 1.5s don't do nothing. This runs out so fast. Then you gotta charge it forever. This one was actually like dead yesterday and now it's working again. Must have overheated. But alright, let's test this thing out. So this is the next Bauer tool in this video. I just got this today. It is a impact driver kit, and it comes with a 1.5 amp hour battery, a charger, and apparently some kind of carrying case thingy, which is cool. This whole unit was $59.99, so you really can't beat that. But right now what I'm doing is I'm kind of switching over all my cordless stuff to Bauer. I am more than happy with the circular saw, the leaf blower, and the reciprocating saw that I bought at different times. And I did buy two 5 amp hour batteries and they work great, so I kind of just want to have all my tools be compatible with those Bauer batteries. Oh, wow, it's already in the bag. That's cool. Look how nice that is. I really like how Bauer presents their tools. Even the packaging always seems really nice. Everybody likes the look and feel of new tools anyways, but I gotta say I really do like Bauer. I think they have nice tools. Even came with some bits. That's everything. And I really don't care if it's just a 1.5 amp hour battery. It's still a battery, so that's really nice that it comes with. And in case I haven't said this yet, all of this was $59.99. Awesome. I'll just lose it if I don't. So this thing feels a lot like the Master Force that I have. They're similar in size. I think this Master Force is one of those deals where you either get a dud where the tool goes bad right away, or you get some kind of tool that just lasts forever, and this is the one that's lasted forever. I've put in thousands and thousands of screws with this, and it's always done a great job. It gets really hot, but it does really well. And this is a 2 amp hour battery compared to the Bauer's 1.5. But I guess I'm just gonna kind of use this until it dies someday, and then I'll just keep going on with the Bauer stuff. Then of course I got the 5 amp hour battery, and I think they make bigger ones. I think they make 8 amp hour and 12 amp hour, which, you know, is kind of crazy for just a little impact, but because it does add weight. And then obviously, since this came with a charger, that's awesome. You can always have more chargers. So right now I have this Bauer charger with 2 spots, and then this one, so all 3 of my Bauer batteries can be on charge overnight or whatever. I don't have to alternate anything right now. Too bad. I don't know how scientifically accurate of a test that is, but pretty close to the same. The only concern I have about the Master Force is I think maybe it's like turned up or something, because it really drives screws in really well, but this thing gets so hot you can't even hold on to it. I don't know if that's a defect or if that's normal. Well, anyway, at least I have a couple of them now. It's always good to have more tools. So I got notified from Harbor Freight the other day that this impact right here was on clearance for $49.99. So I went there today to go get that, and then while I was there I was looking at their batteries, and they had a deal where if you buy the 5 amp hour battery starter kit, you can get a tool for free. Which is pretty fair because these 5 amp hour batteries are usually pretty expensive anyway. So I got the battery, charger, and you get a free tool with it. Unfortunately, this impact wasn't one of those free tools, so I just looked for another tool that was included in the deal that I could use, and I've been wanting one of these cordless grinders for a really long time. That's really nice if you have to cut something somewhere where you can't plug in, you know, a regular corded grinder, which I have a couple of those that are great, but at least now I have one that's cordless. And then of course it's compatible with all the batteries I have, so I'm gonna unbox these. And then I also got this Hercules impact adapter set, which no particular reason. I didn't see any Bauer ones, but they were 10 bucks, so it's always nice to have more of those. This impact here, I've been wanting one of these for a while because these kind of impacts, the little 1/4 inch ones, they work fine, but they're only for a certain type of application. And I got a bunch of work coming up on my pickup truck where I'm gonna have to break a bunch of bolts loose, and I actually have a breaker bar that I usually break bolts loose with anyway because there's so much power there with leverage. But I needed something strong enough that even once I get the bolt loose a little bit, something that has enough power to get it out. So this one here is 450 foot-pounds. They had another one that was like $130 from Bauer, but that one was 1,000 foot-pounds. But 450 is still pretty decent, and this is a 1/2 inch drive, which all my good sockets use 1/2 inch drive anyway, so don't have to use any adapters or anything. It'll just hook right onto the tool. Like I said on some of the other tools, they always package these really nice. Not bad. Well, I guess I don't really have anything to test it on right now, but I guess once I have a good bolt or something, then I'll really get a chance to see what it'll do. Something like this, I wouldn't really use anything other than a 5 amp hour or above, an 8 or 12, because these things seem to take a lot of battery power. Like I said, it's already got the 1/2 inch right on there. Nice not having to put an adapter on the end of it. Even though I could if I wanted to. If I actually wanted to, I probably don't have one up here, but I know I have one somewhere. That's not it. I have an adapter 1/2 inch to 3/8 somewhere, so you could even use a smaller socket if you really wanted to. So there's that. And it did come with that little clip deal, which I suppose I'll put on. Okay, so that's the impact. Now for the stuff that I bought that I wasn't even going to Harbor Freight for. And another charger, which I have a charger spot for every single Bauer battery that I have. So that's actually kind of cool. If for whatever reason I had to charge all of them at the same time, I could, instead of rotating them and waiting, which I've done before. Comes with a handle, which I'm really bad about using. And then of course it has the little tightening wrench for tightening down your discs and all that. I wonder if this new battery has any juice in it. Whoops. Alright, so there that is. Looks pretty good. It's not too heavy. That's kind of nice. Came with a little guard here, which I'm not even going to use. I never ever run these on angle grinders. It just doesn't make sense to me, because when you have something rotating at 10,000 RPM, all this is something to catch your clothing, and I guess the blade can do it anyways, but I just don't like having these on. I've always been like that. Every grinder I've ever had, I've taken these off. Got the handle here, which I usually don't use, but I'll hold on to it. And then it comes with the little deal here to tighten down your discs. There we go. And that'll be really nice if I need to cut something somewhere and I don't have any power or cord or anything else. That's really nice. That's how it looks with the handle on there. I'm trying to keep everything together, even though I'm not going to use some of that stuff. But anyway, it all looks pretty good to me, but I got to try it out. So alright, so these are the newest Bauer tools that I got. I got a cordless sheet sander, and then I've never tried one of these, but this is a little cordless inflator. Always wanted one. It's a lot easier than bringing an air compressor or even a portable air tank. I think these are kind of slow, is what I've heard, but still better than nothing. Oh, it even locks. Locks on your stem. Now I don't have any tires here to use this on, but that's funny. Even sounds like a compressor. Cool. And then I already have a couple power sanders, but they got cords, so if I'm gonna have all these Bauer batteries, I figured get one of these as well. I don't know, once you go cordless, it's kind of hard to use cords again. It's just an extra step, everything you do. And you gotta find an outlet, and this did come with some paper. I think it has like 80, 120, and a couple other ones. Oh, even 60, I guess. So this is similar to an orbital sander, or I guess that's what it is. Only it's a square instead of a... Not sure what this is. Some kind of cover? Never seen that before. That's cool though. I guess that's to protect the surface or something. I don't know. Came with a little bag, which these things don't work half the time anyway. And I assume that's something for a vacuum, which I never use when I use this kind of thing anyways. I just get sawdust all over the place. It's gonna be kind of weird with a battery in that. I guess that's not bad. It's got some weight to it, I'll tell you that. Of course, that's probably not a bad thing in sanding. Oh yeah, that's nice. Nice and smooth, rough. This is the 150 grit. There's 60, 80, 150, and 220. I probably could have went with 80, but I will say changing this sandpaper on the bottom is kind of a pain. It's kind of weird. It's finicky. You gotta stick the paper in there in the right spot, but I guess if you gotta change them out a lot, that'd kind of suck, but it ain't bad. Alright, so went into Harbor Freight to get something and I needed, I don't even remember what it was, but I saw this on sale for 200 bucks and I had to have it. And it's basically just a 6-piece toolkit with 2 batteries and a charger, all for 200. You get a drill, impact, a oscillating multi-tool, circular saw, light, and then this huge blower, I guess, which looks different from the other Bauer blower that I have. But what really sold me on this deal is that it came with a 1.5 amp hour battery and a 3 amp hour battery, and a charger, of course. Now these 2 batteries here, priced individually at Harbor Freight, is 90 bucks. $59.99 for the 3, and I think $29.99 for the 1.5. So I don't know, I'm assuming this is company-wide for Harbor Freight. I don't know how long it lasts or when this video is going to be uploaded, but 200 bucks for all this is a great deal. I do have a circular saw from them already, except my saw is a 7.5 inch and the blade is on the other side, which I don't know what the difference between those two are, but I like having the blade on the left side of the tool. I just find it easier to line up when you're cutting. I did go and buy this 1/4 inch impact, which this came with one already, so that I kind of dropped the ball there, but at least I have multiples now. I even have a Master Force and an old Black & Decker that still works. Not to mention the 1/2 inch impact I just got, so I'm gonna have like 5 cordless impacts, but that's fine. I do have a couple cordless drills, but this Master Force one, the chuck doesn't tighten, and this Craftsman's really old, but it does work. So it's kind of nice to have a drill now. The light, I think every kid always comes with one of these and no one ever cares about them, but you know, whatever, I'll just hold on to it, and if I need it, I'll need it. Oscillating tool, I've never had one of those. So I don't believe this kit really comes with any blades or anything, and maybe I'm wrong. And if I'm wrong, no big deal. But I got a multi-tool blade set for the oscillating tool, 6.5 inch circular saw blade, and then now that I have a bunch of drills and impacts and all that, I decided to get another bit set, mainly because I just wanted these for sticking screw bits in the end, but it comes with a case and a bunch of different stuff, so I just got it anyway. So it was more than 200 bucks. It ended up, you know, being another $40 worth of accessories here, but anyways, I'll quit talking. I'll get this unboxed. Like always, they package it really nice. It's always satisfying how nice they pack all the tools in here. Never used one of these ever, but I know you can plunge cut with these, which is really nice because I'm not very good at doing that with the circular saw or anything else. That's the impact. Saw. And again, blade is on the, you know, driver's side of the tool, I guess you could say, which my other one is on the right side, so when I'm cutting with it, it's kind of hard to keep centered because the blade's off to another side. And I'm right-handed, so I always hold things in my right hand, so it's kind of awkward. So that's really nice. And it's a little bit lighter than my other one. Charger. I got a lot of batteries and chargers now, which is really nice. I didn't recognize that at first. That's the light. Huh. Pretty small. Three amp hour battery. Another 1.5. Drill. And I'm really hoping with this drill, I hope the chuck works good and it actually holds things in there halfway decent. I always have problems with cordless drills. The chucks, I like the old style where you actually had the key that you could tighten it down with. This thing is huge. Wow. Yeah, that thing's huge. So on these bigger tools, it always has a little sticker to use something that's 3 amp hours or greater. Otherwise, it probably doesn't have enough power. So I'm not exactly sure what the whole marketing thing is behind this, because they call it a jet fan blower, not leaf blower, not, you know, nothing else, just jet fan. Yeah, look at that thing. And it says up to 96 miles an hour. But I assume this would put out more cubic feet of air than this other one that I have. Which, this little thing is awesome. I love this thing. Very cool tool. It's a lot smaller though, but anyway, that's everything that was in that kit. So again, blower, circular saw, oscillating tool, light, drill, 1/4 inch impact, 2 batteries, charger, and all the manuals and all that stuff is in here. Actually, there might be something else in there. I'm assuming some part for the circular saw. Maybe. Oh yeah. Little dust thing for the hooking up a vacuum to the circular saw, which I don't use these. Another couple little, those little hingy deals that you put on the drill and the impact. This here, don't know what this is. Looks like some sort of fence or guide or something. Huh. Well, that's cool. Oh, that's really cool. My other circular saw did not come with this. Butts up against your plywood or whatever you're cutting with the circular saw. Helps keep you straight. That's really cool. My other circular saw was the model above this one, and it didn't come with that, unless I missed it. That's awesome. I'm still not going to cut very straight, but at least they gave it to you. I love these little things, and I'm assuming these have magnets. Hopefully my other ones do. Yeah, I think they do. Magnets in the end, so you can not lose your bits when you're working on stuff. Yeah, that's awesome. And then I got these this blade set for the oscillating tool. Which these here are just scrapers anyway. This one right here is the actual cutting. It even has a gauge to see how deep you're cutting in too, so that's cool. If you're notching something out to a certain depth. This goes up to, looks like 1.5 inches. Then of course the 6.5 inch saw blade. Try not to cut myself on this thing. This is reverse thread, so going right loosens it. Got and of course that tells you the blade rotation on there, so there's a little button on the other side of this. You have to hold that down to lock this whole assembly so you can tighten it. That's it. I like this circular saw a lot more than the other one that I bought, even though the other one is supposed to be the nicer one. Keep that with this. You use these a lot. Sometimes, I don't know about this model, but some of them they get loose over time and you got to keep retightening them. I don't know if that's just an old school thing or if new saws do that as well, but at least you have that little Allen key on there if you need it. But I like that way more, having the blade on the left side. That is way better for me to keep things lined up than having to look all the way on the other side. Even though they give you guides here so you can tell, you know, where to follow your line with your fence, but anyway. I always charge these batteries good and full right when I get them new, but I'm gonna try this out quick. And there's two different settings with the power button for brightness. I'm not really sure. Maybe it spreads the light out or something. Oh yeah, it just spreads the light. Okay, I get it. Then of course you can angle this, and it even has a hook on there. So you can hang it and have a little light right there. which is cool. Now that I'm blind, I'm going to put this thing off to the side. Now I am curious about this jet blower. Got a 5 amp hour battery here that's charged up. Now there's no trigger on this. There's just thing's loud. There's 2 settings with this. You just turn it with your thumb there. Now it's not dusty in here really, but so this thing here moves a lot more volume of air, cubic feet a minute or whatever, than this little thing. It's not great for leaves though, I did notice that. So I'm assuming, even though they just call this a jet blower, this would be better for leaves and you know, yard waste and whatnot. But it does move a lot of air. Alright, I want to try out this oscillating tool. And I bought a little cutting blade and then 2 scraping blades. And I already put it on there, but it's really easy. There's a lever right there. When you open that, it allows you to add and remove stuff, and there's little tiny teeth that grab into the weird little holes on this blade. So it's pretty easy. I guess you can even like rotate it in certain ways depending on what you're doing, but in this case I'm just gonna leave it straight. Now it's nice and tight on there. Never used one of these in my whole life. There's a numbers thing on the side. I assume that's speed. Try 1. 6. Wow. Not bad. Harbor Freight clamp here isn't working very good. Let's try 3. Wow. I'm pretty happy with all this stuff in this kit. Really can't beat that. 200 bucks for 6 tools and 2 batteries and a charger. I mean, it's a good deal. Well, I'm gonna wrap up this video on these Bauer tools. I did not mean to buy this many. It was kind of an accident, but I didn't buy all this at once. I bought a little bit at a time over a period of maybe 6 to 8 weeks. I mentioned when I was talking about this reciprocating saw that every time I do a job for somebody, whether it's small or big or whatever, I usually take my profit and I spend it on tools and equipment. I don't really just save it or, you know, pay bills with it. Because all the jobs I do is just a side thing. It's not my full-time career. But yeah, I always reinvest all my money, and that's what I did with basically everything you're looking at right here. Took a little bit of time, but basically now I have all these tools to use on future jobs, or, you know, even things I'm just doing on my own. And it makes my life a whole lot easier having all this stuff and not having to worry about cords and generators and different brands and all that stuff. And, you know, it's all cordless, and all these batteries are interchangeable. I have 3 5 amp hour, 1 3 amp hour, and 2 1.5 amp hour. And they're all interchangeable. I mean, can't beat that. As far as Bauer goes, like 10 years ago, give or take, maybe 15 years ago, I remember Harbor Freight was like the store that had like the worst stuff ever. And everybody was sketched out buying from there, and it was like a gamble whether or not something would be good. And that entire image of Harbor Freight has completely flip-flopped over the last decade. To me, these tools are excellent. I mean, they're not cheap at all. They seem just really, they work really well. Everything seems really nice. All of this was packed so well and presented so well, and when you get a good deal on all this stuff, you would think that it would be cheap, but it just doesn't seem that way. And I know I haven't tested everything, you know, to its fullest potential yet. I just kind of tried a few things out, and, you know, as time goes on, you'll really know whether or not something is well made or not. But I'm more than happy with everything here. I'll have a video coming out soon about a carpentry project I've been doing, but I've been using the saws, the impacts, and this blower. I use that blower every single day. That's easily my favorite tool from Bauer. Now, don't get me wrong, the other one's great too. That one has a, you know, much more cubic feet output. But this little blower here just works great for everything, especially cleaning up sawdust and stuff like that. I'll have that video out soon about the project I've been doing with these tools. But I've never spent money on tools or equipment and then been upset about it, because it's just an investment. I just have this much more to help me do projects, and it makes things easier, faster. Anyway, highly recommend Bauer to anybody who's interested. I can't really speak on behalf of the Hercules brand at Harbor Freight, but I went with Bauer just because they're a little bit cheaper, and yeah, I'm happy with them. But I hope this video wasn't too boring. If you're still watching, I really appreciate you watching the whole thing. If you have any questions, let me know. And if, you know, doing stuff with tools like this is, you know, something people want to see, let me know. I can make more. But I'll definitely be using these here in the future in my videos. So, all right. Thanks for watching, everybody.